What's good, y'all? Today we got another hoop video.
Every Linsanity run in every Linsanity run in NBA history explained.
What's good, y'all? Today we got another reaction video. Today we got some hoops. We got every Linsanity run in NBA history explained. So I guess it's a top list. It starts at 11 right here. It's a top list of every player that had a Linsanity run. If y'all don't know what Linsanity is, y'all need to do y'all research. Real talk, man. Linsanity, which y'all hear about, but Jeremy Lin had a crazy, I don't know if it was a week or 2 weeks or something like that. He just went crazy. But before we hop right into this video, make sure y'all hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Also, let me know what more that y'all want me to react to, and let's get into it, man. Let's go.
Every Linsanity run in NBA history explained.
LeBron
Number 11,
James.
the Mike James season. We start with
Mike
the longest
James.
short run on the list. Usually these hot streaks last a week. Mike James decided to stay hot for an entire year. The year was 2006. The Toronto Raptors were abysmal. They finished 27-55. Vince Carter was gone. Chris Bosh was young. Enter Mike.
Speaking of
55.
Vince Carter, they just said Vince Carter was gone. I bet Vince had Toronto turned, bro. Y'all think that? Y'all think Vince had Toronto turned? I just feel like he just, I don't know.
Was gone. Chris Bosh was young. Enter Mike James. James was a journeyman point guard. He had played for 4 teams in 4 years. He was undrafted. He was 30 years old. His career average was about 9 points per game. But in the 2005-2006 season, something clicked. Mike James decided he was the best scorer on the planet. He didn't just play well, he turned into a flamethrower. He averaged 20.3 points per game for the entire season. He shot 44% from three-point range, which was top 5 in the league at the time.
I bet he was feeling like he was on top of the world, bro. 44% from the field, went from averaging 9 to 20, bro. I bet he was like, this it right here, this it. Man, listen. He probably got a bag too off this, because it went on for a whole year. Unless, they probably had him in a contract, maybe like a 2-year deal. I don't know, but if he was on a 1-year deal and his contract was up after this, he probably got like a little small bag for sure.
Of 39 points against the Pistons, 38 against the Sixers, and 36 against the Nets. He started yelling at everyone. He called himself the Amityville scorer. He took shots that would get most players benched, and he buried them. The Raptors were bad, but James was appointment television. At the time, he was the only undrafted player in NBA history to average 20 points per game for a full season.
So I'm not gonna lie, I feel like that's probably why he was hooping like that. They just said the Raptors was bad. I just feel like Buddy ain't had nothing to lose. They was already losing. They probably gave him the green light. They was probably like, bro, we ain't got nothing else. Just go ahead and do what you do. So I feel like that's probably why, honestly.
Then the clock struck midnight. He signed a contract with Minnesota the next year, dropped back to 10 points a game, and bounced around 6 more teams before retiring. But for that one weird year in Toronto, Mike James was basically Damian Lillard.
So he did something. What was the contract then?
Flip Murray month. Go back to 2003, the Seattle Supersonics. Ray Allen, the franchise savior, was out with an ankle injury to start the season. The Sonics needed a warm body to play shooting guard. They turned to Ronald Flip Murray, a guy from Division II Shaw University who had played a total of 26 minutes the previous season. Expectations were 0. Then the ball went up. In the season opener against the Clippers, Murray dropped 24 points. A nice story. 2 days later, he dropped 22 on the Phoenix Suns. Then the explosion happened. On November 5th, he scored 29 points. On November 7th, against the Heat, he put up 31. He was absolutely cooking people. He had a slippery, hesitation-heavy game that defenders couldn't track. He looked like a street ball legend who wandered onto an NBA court. For the first month of the season, which was roughly 11 games, Flip Murray averaged 23.4 points
I never heard of Flip Murray. I've never heard of him.
per game. Sports Illustrated ran a piece asking if he
Nice
was the
lob.
next big thing. Then Ray Allen came back. Murray went to the bench, his minutes dropped, his rhythm broke, and he turned back into a solid role player. He played 7 more seasons, but he never put up the same numbers again. For 4 weeks in Seattle, Flip Murray was the best shooting guard in the world. Number 9.
So that was explained. I mean, Ray Allen took the back seat. He came back. Look at Paul Millsap. Paul Millsap, let's go.
The Sundiata Gaines moment. This is the shortest run on the list, but it has the highest aura.
I ain't gonna lie, what bro name
This
is?
is the shortest run on the list, but it has the highest aura per minute. It's January 2010. The Utah Jazz are dealing with injuries to Darren Williams. They are desperate.
Yeah,
they
I
signed
don't know how to say,
Sundiata
bro.
Gaines to a 10-day contract. Gaines was a D-League guy.
Yeah, I don't know how to say bro name, but shout out to bro.
He had been cut by 3 teams. He literally removed his D-League jersey, flew to Salt Lake City, and put on a Jazz uniform. 5 days into his 10-day contract, LeBron James and the Cleveland Cavaliers came to town. This was
Hey,
peak
he got some
MVP
speed to
LeBron.
him, boy.
The Cavs were a juggernaut. Gaines checked in. Nobody knew who he was.
He got to be like, chat, look.
LeBron. The Cavs.
His ass got him and the ref the same height. Him and the ref, I'm pretty sure this Shaq right here, so we're going to get that a little grace. Him and the ref the same height, but look at him versus him. What, buddy got to be, but no more than 6 foot?
A juggernaut. Gaines checked in. Nobody knew who he was. The announcers were reading his bio from a sheet of paper during the broadcast. He played out of his mind. He scored 9 points in 21 minutes playing tough defense, but the game came down to the final seconds. The Jazz were down 2, 5 seconds left. The ball gets knocked loose. It ends up in the hands of Sundiata Gaines. He's 24 feet out. Gaines pulls up and the buzzer sounds. He banged it. It is one of the most violent swishes in NBA history. The crowd exploded. Gaines was mobbed by teammates who had met him 72 hours earlier. LeBron walked off the court looking stunned. Gaines signed a contract for the rest of the season. He never really did anything else in the NBA.
Look at him on the scores table. Buddy ain't do none after that. All on the score. I feel him though. I ain't gonna lie. I feel him. I'll be the same way, bro. A lot of these dudes really can hoop, man. They get in the NBA, man. They got to play a role. That's it, bro.
He played 32 total games for the Jazz, but he hit a walk-off buzzer beater in the face of the king on a 10-day contract. That is immortality. Number 8, the Andre Ingram debut.
We know about this
now,
dude.
This
well,
one
I know about
really hits the emotions. Andre Ingram spent 10 years in the G League, a full decade. He played nearly 400 games in empty gyms in front of 200 people. He tutored kids in math on the side to pay his rent. He had gray hair on his beard. On April 19th, 2018,
They was just giving everybody. Well, I ain't gonna say everybody, but literally though, like they could have pulled me out, and I could have played like a couple of games for them. If that's what they wanted, they was just pulling folks. It was just, hey, let's call up Mike James and tell him to come. He hooped though. He hooped for sure, but
the Los Angeles Lakers called him up. They were out of the playoffs. The season was meaningless, and they wanted to do a solid for the G League vet.
Okay, that's what's up. That's what's up. That's why they did it. They was already out of the playoffs, and they wanted to. Okay, that's what's up, man. That's real. That's love. That's
32
love.
years old. He was the oldest American rookie since 1964. He checked in against the Houston Rockets, the best team in the league that year, led by Chris Paul and
That's
James
love,
Harden.
man.
Ingram went.
That team was supposed to win the championship. Chris Paul, James Harden, man. And then they had Trevor Ariza.
Nuclear. He hit his first shot, then a 3, then another 3. By the fourth quarter, the Staples Center crowd, which has seen Magic, Kobe, and Shaq, was chanting MVP for a 32-year-old rookie with gray hair. Ingram
Eric
finished
Gordon,
with
Gerald
19
Green.
points. He
They
shot
had Nene still.
4 for
That Nene?
32-year-old Magic.
Look at Nene. If y'all know, y'all know. Look at Nene though.
Kobe and Shaq was chanting MVP for a 32-year-old rookie with gray hair. Ingram finished with 19 points. He shot 4 for 5 from deep. He didn't miss a shot until the final minutes. The Lakers lost the game, but nobody cared. Chris Paul stayed after the game to hug him and tell him he respected the grind. Ingram played one more game that season, then went back to the G League. That one night in April was the payoff for a decade of work. Number 7, Lester Hudson. The 2012 Cleveland Cavaliers were a tragedy. LeBron was in Miami winning rings, while Kyrie Irving was a rookie but kept getting hurt. The team was actively trying to lose games. Enter Lester Hudson. Hudson was a shooting guard who had bounced around the league. The Cavs signed him late in the season, essentially to fill a roster spot. For 3 weeks, Lester Hudson became the ghost of Michael Jordan. It started on April 8th against the Nets, 26 points. 2 days later versus the Hornets, 19 points. The next night versus the Pacers, 19 again. Then he leveled up. Versus the Magic, he had 25. 2 days later, he put up 23 on the Pistons. And then the very next night, he put up 23 on the Sixers. He had at least 23 points in 3 straight games.
Do y'all feel like y'all could, let's just say, they give y'all a 10-day contract, right? 10-day contract. Y'all playing, okay, y'all will play the best team 1 game. So the best defensive team, y'all playing in 1 game. But the rest of the games are, you're playing people that sucks. Like, let's just say the Hornets suck right now. Who else? The Hornets. Let's go with let's just say the Hornets right now. The Nets, probably the Brooklyn Nets. Let's go with the Hornets and the Nets. And whoever else is sorry. Do y'all honestly think y'all could score, let's just say, 5-6 points? Do y'all think y'all really can score 5-6 points? Y'all have 10 games to do it. 5-6 points. Do y'all really think y'all could? And I know a lot of y'all gonna be like, yeah, of course I could do it. I got 10 games. But man, it's different, bro. It's different, chat. I ain't gonna lie. I feel like that's a little. Let's just go 20. Do y'all think y'all could score 20 points in 10 games playing the sorriest teams? 20 points, 10 games playing the sorriest teams, and you're getting your shots up. You getting your shots up. Can you score 20 versus the sorriest teams? You got 10 games to do it. Can you do it? The answer is nah.
He's hitting step back threes. He was driving into traffic and finishing.
Imagine being able to build an app with your name on it just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44, a complete AI creation.
Through contact, he averaged 23 points, 4 rebounds, and 3 assists over that stretch. The Cavs fans who had absolutely nothing to cheer for started bringing Lester Sanity signs into the arena. He was scoring so much, he was actually hurting the tank. The front office probably panicked. The season ended. Hudson wasn't resigned. He
I ain't gonna lie, I would never tank.
He became an absolute legend, winning MVP awards and championships in the CBA. He found his kingdom. But for 3 weeks in Ohio, he was the king. Number 6, the Michael Carter Williams.
Oh my gosh. Dang, bro. Michael Carter Williams is... Dang, bro. I thought Michael Carter Williams was gonna be that, bro. No cap, man.
Debut. Most Linsanity runs happen mid-season. This one happened on day 1, October 30th, 2013. The Philadelphia 76ers opened their season against the Miami Heat.
Dang,
the Heat
bro.
were the defending champions. LeBron, Wade, Bosh, at the peak of their powers. The Sixers were predicted to be the worst team in NBA history. They were starting a skinny rookie point guard named Michael Carter Williams. The betting line was Miami by double digits. It was supposed to be a slaughter. Instead, MCW produced the greatest debut in the history of the sport. He came out flying. He was 6'6" and getting into every passing lane. He was dunking in transition. He was hitting threes, which he couldn't actually do. By the 4th quarter, the Heat looked confused. MCW finished with 22 points, 12 assists, 7 rebounds,
Look at
and
that
9
stat
steals.
line, boy. Look at that stat line,
9 steal
chat.
points, 12 assists, 7 rebounds, and 9.
Look at that stat line. Oh my gosh. I ain't gonna lie. I would have been like, bro, we found the point guard of the future. My gosh, bro. But he turned out to be...
9 steals in his first NBA game against LeBron James. The Sixers won the game. The Wells Fargo Center melted down. For the first week of that season, MCW was the best player in the league. He won Rookie of the Year, but he never reached that height again. His jump shot broke. He got traded. He became a defensive role player. but he peaked in Game 1, and it was an insane peak. Number 5, the Yogi Ferrell Yogi Mania. The Dallas Mavericks were dead in the water in 2017. They needed a point guard. They called up Yogi Ferrell from the D-League on a 10-day contract. Ferrell was undersized and went undrafted out of Indiana. The Brooklyn Nets had cut him earlier that season. He played his first game on January 29th. He scored 9 points. Solid. The next night, he dropped 19 in a win over the Cavs. Okay, now we're listening. Then came the Portland game, February 3rd, 2017.
Portland got some good guards too.
It was a
Portland got some good guards too, chat.
Shootout. Yogi Ferrell went absolutely berserk. He hit 9 3-pointers and scored 32 points. With the game tied in the final minute, he pulled up from way downtown and drilled the dagger. He finished the 10-day contract averaging 17 points and 5 assists. Mark Cuban didn't even wait. The next day, he signed Ferrell to a 2-year deal. Yogi Mania shirts were printed. Ferrell stuck around the league for a few years, but he never had a run like that again. For 2 weeks, he was the most exciting little man in basketball. Number 4, the Cam Thomas heat check. This is the most recent one on the list. February.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I would hate to play with Cam Thomas, bro. I'm not even gonna lie.
2023. The Brooklyn Nets.
Pass the rock, fam. Pass the rock, man.
Were collapsing. Kyrie Irving demanded a trade and got sent to Dallas. Kevin Durant was sitting out, waiting to be traded to Phoenix. The Big Three era was over. The roster was depleted. Cam Thomas, a second-year guard who had mostly ridden the bench, looked around and said, I guess I'll shoot. On February 4th, he dropped 44 points on the Wizards. Then on February 6th, he dropped 47 on the Clippers. And then the next night, on the 7th, he dropped 43 on the Suns. 3 straight games of 40-plus points. He became the youngest player in NBA history to score 40 in 3 straight games. It was pure, uncut scoring. He wasn't passing. He wasn't really playing any defense either. He was just getting buckets.
See, I'm not gonna lie.
Mid-range pull-up.
I'm not gonna lie. They say he wasn't passing, he wasn't playing defense, he was just getting buckets. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like I said I wouldn't play with him. I wouldn't want to play with him. But like I said, I feel like if he was, you know, ball hogging or whatever, if he get his buckets, that's cool. That's cool and all. That's cool and all. But if he ain't get his buckets and we losing on top of that, bro, pass the rock, bro. Like let's get some structure in this mug. Okay, you come down, you take 3 shots, you come down your 4th trip, let somebody else shoot that rock, bro. Come on, man, we already losing. Like, come on. But if you hooping like you hooping, go ahead, shoot the rock.
Deep threes and crafty finishes. He averaged 44.7 points per game over that 3-game stretch. Once the Nets traded for Mikal Bridges and Cam Johnson, Thompson went back to the bench. His minutes got cut. The run ended as fast as it started. He's still a great scorer, but for 3 days, Cam Thomas was one of the best scorers in NBA history. Number 3, Bubble TJ Warren. The Orlando bubble was a weird place. No fans, giant screens, Disney World hotels. Some players hated it. TJ Warren turned into prime Larry Bird. Warren was always a solid scorer for the Indiana Pacers, a 15-point per game guy. But when the NBA restarted in the bubble in August 2020, he leveled up. In the very first game of the restart against the Philadelphia 76ers, Warren scored 53 points. He shot 20 for 20.
He was going crazy, but I ain't gonna lie, he scored 53 points. He has to be, I don't want to say random, but he has to be. Let's look up players who scored 50. Let's look up players who scored 50. NBA. PAYER. Who is your scored 50? All right, let's see. This it right here? Wait. Okay, list of players who scored 50. Okay, Kobe, okay, David, Thomas. That we ain't worried about that. We're just gonna scroll till we see Donovan, okay, Damian, Dell, okay. So basically, other than like all the old heads, like people from the 70s and the 60s and all that, okay, Tracy, Curry, Devin, Shaq, Bron, James Harden. I don't know who that is. Kimba, okay. So yeah, like I said, I don't want to call him random, but he the only one other than the players that's from the 70s that I don't really know. He's the only one on that list that wasn't like a high player that scored 50, which is crazy. I'm not gonna lie, that's crazy. That's crazy.
9 from the field. He hit 9 threes. He was mocking Ben Simmons.
Zaxby's just dropped new lemon pepper.
If y'all know anybody else that dropped 50 and I don't know and I skipped their name or something like that, let me know.
He was blowing kisses to the virtual fans. He followed that up with 34 points versus the Wizards, 32 points versus the Magic, and 39 versus the Lakers. In the 8 seeding games, he averaged 31 points per game, and he shot 52% from 3. He looked unguardable. His mid-range floater was automatic. Then the playoffs started. The Heat swept the Pacers, and Warren cooled off. Injuries derailed his career after that. He missed almost 2 full seasons with foot problems.
How old was he at this
TJ
time?
Warren remains a mythical creature in NBA lore. Number 2, the Billy Ray Bates supernova.
Yeah,
we have to
nobody
go back
know
to
this old ass.
old days of grainy
Look at
footage.
this. Look at this, bro.
For this one, Billy Ray Bates is
Get
the
on that
original
rim, then.
street ball legend. They called him Black Superman. He didn't play college ball at a major school. He was playing in the Continental Basketball Association for the Maine Lumberjacks when the Portland Trailblazers found him. He was 6'4", built like a linebacker, and had a vertical leap that didn't
He kind of looked taller than 6'4" though.
really make sense. He joined the Blazers late in the 1980 season. He won Player of the Week almost immediately. But his legend was made in the playoffs. In the 1980 playoffs, he averaged 25 points per game. In the 1980
Cause I ain't gonna lie, you can't even see these fools, bro. Like imagine you got your cousin or something playing. You can't even see. Like I don't even know who this is. Like even if I would, I don't even know who this is, bro.
81
Look how grainy it is. Like, who is this? I don't even know. You can't even see their
Combined
face.
in his brief playoff career, he averaged 26 points.
He get on that rim, though. I ain't
he was
gonna lie.
dunking on Kareem. He was unstoppable. But Bates had demons. Drug and alcohol issues cut his NBA career short. He was out of the league by 1983. He went to the Philippines and became a god there, literally a pop culture icon. But his NBA window was tiny. For those 2 postseasons, though, there was nobody more electric. Number 1. The original Linsanity.
The original.
And here we are. The prototype, the name on the trophy for the video. You know the story, but you need...
And before we get started, bro, Melo, I'll rock with you, Melo. But you ain't have to hate like that, Melo. You ain't really have to. And if you know, you know.
To remember how it really felt. February 2012, the New York Knicks were a disaster. 8-15 record, Carmelo Anthony was hurt, Amari Stoudemire was hurt, Coach Mike D'Antoni was about to get fired. Jeremy Lin was sleeping on his brother's couch on the Lower East Side. He had been cut by the Warriors and the Rockets. He was the 15th man on the roster. On February 4th, against the New Jersey Nets, D'Antoni put him in out of desperation. Lin scored 25 points and dished out 7 assists.
Go
and
crazy.
The Knicks won. Everybody said it was a fluke. 2 nights later, against the Utah Jazz, he had 28 points and 8 assists. The Knicks won again. The very next night, against the Wizards, he had 23 and 10, and guess what? The Knicks won again. Now, the media is swarming at this point. It's becoming a thing. February 10th, the Lakers come to Madison Square Garden. Kobe Bryant is asked about Lin. He says, "I don't even know what he's done." Jeremy Lin went out and dropped 38 points
RP
on Kobe's
Code,
head.
man.
He hit a spinning fadeaway over Derek Fisher.
RP code, but 30. I think 37, right? 37. And he just said on his head. I don't know if that was on his head or not, bro.
Pull up threes.
It's probably like on Steve Blake's head or something like that. Probably not on Kobe's head.
Kobe, who had 34. The Garden was shaking. Then, February 14th, Toronto. It was a tie game. In the
This right
final
here is
seconds,
hard.
Lin waved off his teammates. He held the ball at the top of the key, and then he pulled up for 3. Bang. Game winner.
Bruh,
The Knicks had
I know
won
he felt on
7 in a
top
row.
of
For that
the
stretch
world.
of roughly 3 weeks, Jeremy Lin was one of the most famous
That's tough.
in a row.
Look at
For
this
that
Selly.
stretch
Look
of
at this
roughly
Selly chat right here. I don't know who this is. Look at this Selly though.
3 weeks,
Ah,
Jeremy
that's hard,
Lin
that's
was one of
hard.
the most famous athletes on earth. He was even on the cover of Asia's Time magazine. His stats during the peak, 26.8 points per game and 8.5 assists. But it was more than stats. It was an Asian American guy from Harvard who nobody wanted, dominating the sport at its highest level at Madison Square Garden. The run ended, Melo came back, and the chemistry got weird. Lin got hurt, and he left for Houston in the summer. But he did have a solid career. He won a ring as a backup in Toronto, but he never became a superstar. But it didn't matter. Those 3 weeks in February 2012 were the greatest individual run in regular season history. Maybe not from a statistical standpoint, but Linsanity was one of the coolest regular season moments in NBA history.
Facts. He had a great run. I'm not gonna lie, that was great. That was a great run, bro. Shout out to Jeremy Lin. Jeremy Lin also had a great career. Like you said, he won a ring and all of that. I remember that knee injury he had when he was in Brooklyn. That was crazy. But yeah, man. Shout out to everybody on this list that hooped, man. That went crazy. I know it's everybody's dream to go to the NBA. And not everybody gets to have moments like these where they, went crazy for a month or 3 weeks where they were scoring like crazy. But like T.J. Warren is gonna always be a part of this list with great names on it. So I appreciate y'all for checking out this video. Let me know if there's anything else that y'all want me to react to in the comments. And I will see you guys next vid. All right.